Hello, you're live with Archibald Chesterfield III, the governor's governor. And today we're discussing, has the used luxury watch market crashed? Has it crashed? Has it crashed? You tell me. What do you think? And I gotta tell you, I think, in my opinion, the market, the wristwatch market for used watches it's absolutely crashed. It's 2008. It's U.S. housing market in the wristwatch market now. Clyde, long-time buyer, long-time enthusiast, tell me the truth. Do you think the wristwatch market has crashed? The used luxury wristwatch market. Has it crashed? Yes or no?
Yes, if you're a seller. If you're a buyer, it's great. Price. Yeah, I mean, teeter-totters. You know, it's a good market for one or the other. So,
how bad is the market?
Well, let me put it this way. I think if I tried to sell any of the watches I've acquired, I'd probably be hosed. Fortunately, I'm not a flipper. I'm a holder. I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight. Sorry.
Yes.
So, if you're gonna buy and hold, this is a great time. I almost did something spectacularly stupid today.
What's that?
I almost pulled the trigger on a Panerai Destro for $35.50. Backed off at the very last second until I came to my senses.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, you know, on the Destro, it's basically.
What is the Destro? Tell me what the Destro is.
It's basically a PAM 112, which I kind of like anyway, because you know it's a base model, except the crown guard is on the left hand side rather than the right hand side, so it's also a little bit off the beaten path.
So the base model is a model without the second hand, isn't it?
Right, a 112. A 111 has the seconds on the 9 o'clock position.
Yeah, I love the 111.
I'd like to stay base. I mean, to be honest, I'm not particularly fond of the seconds hand on the 9. So, you know, that's why I picked the PAM 0 over the PAM 005. And if I were to get a second one, it would probably it would be a 112 for the sandwich style rather than a 111. You know, the 112's not chronometer rated or anything, but
Yep, I understand what you're saying.
But
now, I got to tell you, honestly, do you really think, tell me this, do you really think the wristwatch market itself is going to come back? Do you really, could this be the end of it all?
No, I think it's just a temporary price adjustment. I think eventually what the dealers will do, what the manufacturers and the dealers will do, whatever to hold. I mean, they'll cut back production. They'll lay off employees. They'll do everything except lower the price of the watches. But on the other hand, if they lower the price of the watches, that'll further deflate or suppress the secondary market. So we don't necessarily want them to, I don't think. If the jewelers start, I mean, we're of course, you know, seems like the used jewelers, I've got one, this probably one of the largest ones in my area, is like half a mile from my office, half-mile walk. And it seems that he's awfully proud of them. I think he'd just rather sit there in the shop all day and look at the same, you know, 200 or 300 Rolexes in his display cases. But if, on the other hand, if he lowers his prices to get rid of his stock, then
he's unrealistic in his prices, isn't he?
I think they all are a little bit. And really, when you think about it, maybe there should be a little bit of a price adjustment for new watches, since 10% price increases year after year. How long do they really realistically expect to keep that up?
You've heard the saying Ponzi scheme, haven't you?
I think I've heard it mentioned here before a few times.
I don't know. Rolex just they know their greed knows no bound. The only thing or person I've seen as greedy as that is a woman.
So a Swiss woman would be the greediest of them all?
You betcha. No, I stand corrected. I'd like to apologize, because you can't get any greedier than a woman. Their greed knows no bounds.
How's the personal life coming, by the way?
Yeah. That's an interesting.
So is there another Pluto on the way?
No. It was just a just trying to jank my chain. But I got to tell you the honest truth there.
If you just had your chain yanked, you wouldn't have to be worrying about that now, would you?
No, that's it. That's the least of my worries. That emphysema cough I've got is pretty serious.
Have you seen have you seen a doctor about it?
No, I don't like doctors.
Okay. Do you like dying?
No, I'll leave it. I'm in denial. I'm not that sick, okay?
All right. And if you got, and we've talked about this before, but if you have the sore throat, just man up, buckle down, and gargle some hot salt water. Nothing works on a sore throat like hot salt water.
Okay.
I hate it. I hate it more. I hate it more than your engineer. That's how much I hate gargling hot salt water. But on the other hand, nothing's more effective. Anyway, sometimes the old ways are the best.
So tell me this, has the used market tanked? Is it crashed? Is it fucked? How bad is it out there? How bad is it? If you're selling
watches, you're screwed. That's if you're selling, you're hosed, I think, right now. But this is, you don't follow along with everyone else in the market. You have to be contrarian. Like what is it? The investor guy, Jimmy Buffett. See, Jimmy Buffett is
Warren Buffett.
Okay. Anyway, he doesn't follow the Fonzie scheme. He does the opposite, and that's how he's rich. So
yes, I wanted to ask you. I've got someone who's sniffing around my world time, Clyde.
Yeah.
And I've told them this is on the ArchieLuxury for sale. If you look in the description in this things listed, Patek Philippe World Time 5110 in yellow gold. I want 19,250.
Aussie or American?
That's American.
Okay.
And he tells me he lives in Kansas. How far away is that from you?
What part of Kansas?
I live in the center part of America, Kansas, Kansas.
Okay, right. But, well, it depends what kind of Kansas. Wichita is about 3 hours due north. Topeka is about 5, and Kansas City maybe about 7. Fair little drive.
What's the closest airport to get to Kansas?
Well, and again, probably depends on which part of Kansas they're going to. It's a fairly large state. I guess if you're flying to Wichita, it'd be Wichita, or Topeka, it'd be the same thing. Oklahoma City is a large, pretty decent sized airport, but if you have to drive for 3 or 4 hours, it's still kind of
suckful.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you anywhere near Maine? Bangor, Maine? Are you anywhere near Bangor, Maine? I'd like to go and visit that place.
Across the country. Kansas is in the middle. We're right below Kansas. Oklahoma is between Kansas and Texas.
If I sell the world time for $20,000, I'm talking 20,500, right?
Right.
How about I want to get a Cadillac Brougham.
You're screwing with me, right?
No, 90s Cadillac Brougham, and drive from one side to the other. What do you think? What's wrong with that?
Stephen Fry's already done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Of course, you can drive in my part of the country, you can find a lot of good steakhouses, I guess.
How much would a Brougham cost? How much could I get a good Brougham for?
No idea. Let's please not internet it. Well, we can do that off camera. Okay. I'm part of the.
If I got a Brougham hearse, would you come with me?
No. Why would I want to drive somewhere with you in a hearse?
Heaps of storage.
Well, okay. But I don't intend to be homeless anytime soon, so I don't need that much storage.
You could lie down in the back, couldn't you?
Boy, I don't even want to look at what the board is saying right now. No, I wouldn't want to lie down in the back. If it's a Cadillac, it should have comfortable front seats anyway. Actually, but I think you should. Sold it. Find a good deal on a gold Submariner, or at least a day date.
A day date.
Yeah, or even a Submariner. I have to set. The Archie 5.
Yes.
Rolex is not well represented by the poorer explorer.
No.
No, it's not. I have one, but if I was going to have one watch to represent Rolex, no, absolutely not.
The Polar.
No.
No date sub.
It would probably be the no date sub or the date sub, quite frankly.
Wow, that's kind of hurtful to hear you say that.
No, because of your own rules. If you only want one watch, but that's choosing that one watch to represent all of Rolex.
Clyde, I want to ask you, has the watch market, is it completely stuffed? Is it completely stuffed? If you're selling brands like IWC, Panerai, Breguet, Jaeger-LeCoultre, is it soft?
Well, yeah, I'm seeing bargains in the area on Rolex just all over the place. As a matter of fact, in Dallas, there's a non-ceramic sub-date. When is it? 16610. What's the non-ceramic sub-date? Box and papers, unworn, for like $5,000, late 90s. But on the other hand, it's just like, I've got a sea dweller, I've got a sub no date. At which point, I think that
I had some transmission problems. What are you saying?
Well, like for instance, I'm seeing stuff coming up I haven't really seen coming up before, like a late 90s non-ceramic sub date, box and papers, unworn condition.
Late 90s.
Box and papers.
Box and papers.
All paperwork.
Yep.
Chrono 24, like 0, unworn condition, $5,000.
A what? Sorry, what watch is that?
Sub date non-ceramic, 16610.
Oh, geez, how $5,000? That's pretty good buying.
Yeah. See, I mean, it's just like,
why don't you buy that instead of the other garbage you mentioned before?
Well, I'm kind of thinking about it, but keep in mind, it's one thing to hit a button on eBay, on an eBay auction. It's another thing to drive 7 hours. And not to mention the fact, I've already got a sea dweller and a no date sub. So really, what's kind of the point of another Rolex diver?
I see. Got you. Got you. I see what you're saying.
There's also a ceramic sub no date in Dallas for like $4,500, like 3 years old box and papers. But again, you know, if I already have this one.
Wow, that's amazing. That is really amazing. I'm impressed.
No, actually, the watch, the one place which, strangely enough, I think the watch market hasn't crashed. Aren't they still paying like fucking crazy town prices in the UK for them for some reason?
Yeah, I don't have many contacts over there.
Well, like I said, I've read forums and everything, online forums and so forth. I've had other people mention that for some reason they're still incredibly high over there. Too bad you can't.
Wow.
Well, you know, that might be a way. If you had a way to go over to England and maybe sell the Ingenieur while you're over there, or the Patek, or maybe even the Polar. Oddly enough, in my neck of the woods, the Polar has gone up in value.
Very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, actually. Well, then again, there's a lot of people that's been saying it's the best Rolex sports bargain around. So I think maybe, and the model has been semi-discontinued or superseded by a new model. 42
mil, you mean?
Right. Exactly. So maybe it's on the way back up on the price range, price curve, on the pricing bell curve.
Clyde, it's been great chatting to you. We're going to cut it now.
Cool.
And what we're going to do is we're going to do another show just up.
All right.
So let's cut this one here. Thank you so much for participating.